we'll be inviting the man who has put all this together in his capacity as the National Organizing Secretary of Afenifere. Put your hands together for Mr. Dele Farotimi. He will be talking to us about the future of Afenifere. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I speak a lot, but I'm really very good with protocols. So I'm going to crave your indulgences and beg that you please forgive me for perhaps any errors I might make. Forgive me. I would love to stand on the existing protocols. But even as much as I might want to do that, I am compelled to recognize some of our elders who are sat here. I recognize Kabiesi, the acting leader of Afenifere, about Olaiton. I see Chief Bode George. I see our father from the Yoruba Council of Elders. And I see a former governor of my state, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, and I do see a whole lot of elders sat here, and my leaders who are also here. Baba Ashemota, North Respect, good evening. Good afternoon, sir. Now, before Baba Adebanjo died, we were already talking about this symposium. And what informed the need for those discussions were the misunderstandings that were already attending and dogging the path of Afenifere. Not long before Baba's demise, I took the role as the National Organizing Secretary of Afenifere. A few weeks after, Baba passed on. It became imperative that even with his passage, attempts must be made to ensure that the clouds, so to say, that has beclouded the people's understanding of Afenifere, his ideology, his history, and especially his role in Nigeria, to be cleared up. So we decided that we must have today to celebrate Baba, his life, the ideals by which he lived, and to ensure that those ideals are carried forward in a manner that accords with the understanding of the people so that we do not do violence to his memory. I was given the luxury of picking my own topic, and I took for myself the future of Afenifere. Speaking to the future of Afenifere at this time is of extreme importance. Nigeria is in a place where our people will say, Tiwaju oba se lo, eyin a se pada si. If you do not know where you're going, you must of necessity know where you are coming from. There is an American, his name is Pearl Buck. He said, and I will quote, if you want to understand today, you have to search yesterday. This rain has been beating the vulture for a while. But what rain has been beating the vulture? When Afenifere came into being 74 years ago, it was in response to emergent scenarios within what is today Nigeria. There were challenges that were already threatening the corporate existence of that imagined country. It hadn't even gotten its independence at the time. There was talks of a unitary system. There was talk of separation. Federalism was the middle ground position, and it was put forward by no other than Chief Obafemi Awolowo and the Action Group. Today, you needn't look too far away. When you look around Nigeria, you find that the foundational problem we have today is that everybody is being forced to wearing the same size. So it's become a one-size-fits-all, the prescription of the center must always be accepted. So instead of having the multiple nations that were battered in this space, what we have today is one behemoth that has made life almost impossible for everybody. So what is the relevance of Afenifere in today's Nigeria? One of the first things that have happened to us as a collective in Nigeria is the destruction of common platforms. Almost every organization that could be made available for the people to chart a course out of the mess that we've been plunged into have been systematically destroyed. But I believe that Afenifere has a role in the future, if there is going to be a future for Nigeria. In the first place, Afenifere is going to be at the forefront of putting pressure on this existing system that has discounted the place of citizens. In discounting the place of citizens, it has also assured that the judicial system has been destroyed. The destruction of the judicial system has guaranteed that the law does not rule in Nigeria. These guarantees have assured that each and every Nigerian, wherever they may come from, whether they be Yoruba, Igbo, Fulani, or even Ijaw, have been left with devalued lives. We live in a country today where persons hauling arms around are euphemistically referred to as hunters. Exactly what game they are hunting in the Nigeria that we have found ourselves in today, we do not know. We live in a Nigeria today where even though we claim that we have a state, nobody's lives are safe. People sleep sometimes one eye open or perhaps with both eyes fully opened, simply because the state has failed in its most basic of duties, which is to protect the lives and properties of those who are trapped within its territory. In the Nigeria that we have today, the president wakes up one day and summarily pronounces decisions that are completely at variance with the constitution that we are already bellyaching is illegitimate. So even the basic adherence to basic principles, where we know exactly by what rules we are governed, is already lost. I can recount each and every one of the many reasons why we all need to band together, but that will not address the subject I've been given. The subject is, what is the role of Afenifere in all of this? I'll remind you, in 1993, after Abacha had taken over, I believe that was on the 17th of November, 93, Nigerians were crying in their separate parts, and people had different arguments and complaint, but it took one tendency to act as a bond to bring together the disparate groups that were dissatisfied with the Nigeria that was foisted on us with the annulment of the election. That group was Afenifere. It was the dominant group in what became NADECO. Where we are today is worse than where we were in 1993. History has come full circle. Between 1993 and 2023, you have 30 years. But in those 30 years, the exact same thing that precipitated the crisis in 1993 has happened again in 2023. The will of the people stopped mattering. When the will of a people do not matter, the very foundation of society is threatened. Afenifere's duty in this season is to help the Nigerian people to find a way to recognize the commonalities of their affliction so that they are not speaking at cross purposes even when they ought to be speaking to free each other or acting to free each other. Let me be clear, and I'll get out of your faces with this. When we allow the distractions that are usually employed to take hold. Instead of speaking to our freedom, we would ultimately speak to our divisions. Those who profit by reducing our capacities as human beings, it's not even talking about our capacities as citizens. Our capacities as human beings are constrained by what we have allowed to happen to us. So it is critical that Afenifere offers everybody a platform. Now, please, it doesn't matter what part of Nigeria you're from. Those people before me eminently have made clear to you, Afenifere was not founded for the Yorubas. It was founded for Nigerians. It was founded to save us from ourselves. We are asking you that just as we made ourselves available as a platform in 1993, if you look at where we are today, you shouldn't need us to tell you that there is a critical need to come together again, find common purposes as Nigerians, because that's where we are today, and then look for a way out of where we are. Chief Adebanjo spent his life, the better part of his life, over 70 years of that, committed to this ideal. He never walked away from it. All the times that we were busy bellyaching about what was happening to us, the late 2020, 2021, I remember, and I can still hear Baba's voice in my head. Hello, organize. Go and organize yourselves. He was constantly telling us about the need to organize ourselves. What we've done today has been done in his memory, but he has played his part and he has left. What we do with the charge he has left behind is entirely up to us. But what we as Afenifere are offering you today is an opportunity to work with us, to find common ground, to find common purpose, so that we might all save ourselves from where we are today. This is not desirable. Thank you very much.